Okay, we're back, kind of showing you some of the wood that was picked up the other day. So actually, earlier this week, we had gone to a mill in Tiverton, and I can maybe share a couple of photos of that with you on the resources. I may or may not, but I just wanted to let you know that we have the timber inside, and it has a particular pattern of why you see it accordingly. I'll let kind of Steve explain some of that.
So whenever you're stacking lumber of any kind, especially if it's as wet as this, these timbers were logs just less than a week ago. So they are very wet, or what's called very green. So you really want to make sure that you can dry them out as best you can. You also want to make sure to stack them properly. Because they're so wet, they're very prone to warping and twisting if they're not supported properly. So you can see here we've got some 4x4s set underneath them. This gives them enough support. They're called stickers. So you want to sticker up the lumber to make sure it's well supported and it stays as straight as possible. And it also allows airflow. When we brought these in, we also left a gap in between them all, again, allowing as much airflow through it to dry these things out as possible. Green timbers can be very difficult to work with. Most timber framing, the timbers are still a little green, but we like to get them as dry as you possibly can.
One of the things we've noticed over the past couple of years of doing this particular lab activity is when we get the timbers, the grain at least is what we call unchecked. There is no cracks or split in it because it is so green. As the wood starts to dry, it actually has a lot of checks, and you'll start seeing cracking and whatnot. And even during timber frame structures being built, there's a lot of movement that occurs through the course of that timber actually starting to dry out a little bit. And as timber framers, those that are in the field professionally, they have more experience of how to manage and deal with that. The lumber that we've selected for this particular lab is something we typically use. Is dimensionally, it is a 6x6. So we have the lumber here is 6 inches by 6 inches. All of the different members that we're cutting are of the same particular dimension other than length. Now, timber framing itself varies quite a bit of how that particular dimensional lumber is wooded or cut for that particular project. In this particular project, as I had said, everything is a 6x6 square stock. Now that's relevant. When I say square, not every member is actually exactly 6 inches. This mill does a pretty good job, but it could be 5 7/8 or 6 1/8, or some differences. So we're going to go through some of the calculations when we take a look at how we're going to cut this up. What you see in front of you, you probably can't see behind you, is these are actually 8 foot in length, and in the back we actually have a few 12-footers in length. We still have more material to come, and we'll go from there.